Let's begin. Today's November 12th, 2024, and we're solving the Daily Turing Machine Puzzle. Today's puzzle uses the following 5 criteria cards. Criteria card 3, 7, 10, 18, and 21. And the puzzle uses the purple verification cards. The code above is your way to get more information on today's puzzle by searching the code on turingmachine.info. Let's go solve. So in the grid above, we've got our 5 criteria cards. On the top row, we've got criteria card A, criteria card B, and criteria card C. On the bottom row, we've got criteria card D, and finally criteria card E. So criteria card A takes a look at our middle digit, the square digit, and compares it to the number 3. So should the value of square be less than 3? Should it be equal to 3? Or should the value of square be greater than 3? Criteria card B takes a look at our last digit, the circle digit, and the Turing machine will let us know whether it's an even digit or an odd digit. Criteria card C will take a look at the 3-digit solution, and the Turing machine will let us know how many of those digits are 4. Are there no 4s? Is there a single 4? Perhaps 2, maybe even all 3 are 4. Criteria card D will take a look at our 3 digits, triangle, square, and circle, add them up, and the Turing machine will let us know if the sum total is an even quantity or an odd quantity. And finally, criteria card E again takes a look at our 3-digit solution, except this time it'll let us know a little bit about its structure, so to speak. Specifically, it can tell us whether we have a pair of digits in our solution, as in the example 131, or alternatively, there are no pairs, but there are a couple of cases. One where all the digits are distinct, as in the example 134, or all the digits are the same, as in the example 222. And remember, the objective of today's puzzle is to find that unique 3-digit code that abides by all of the 5 criteria cards we just described. And we're going to start off with an initial proposal of 314. So the first thing I'd like to test is criteria card B. Okay, so the Turing machine approves of my choice for a circle. I did pick an even 4. And of course, since the Turing machine agrees with that, yes, circle is actually an even digit. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section B. And we'll say that circle, again, is an even digit. And of course, since it is even, we can go ahead and cross out all of the odds. So we can cross out 1, 3, and 5. So obviously we do have this criteria card C, letting us know how many 4s there are. Let's see, what else can we say? Well, actually, let's go ahead and test criteria card D. Okay, so again, the Turing machine does approve. Notice in criteria card D, we are adding up all the digits. So let's go ahead and do that. So 3 plus 1 is 4, and 4 plus 4 is 8. So that is an even quantity, and the Turing machine agrees with that. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section D. And again, that's that triangle plus square plus circle should be an even quantity. And what can we say about that? Well, remember, we've already established that circle is already even. So if we want the sum total to be even, there are a couple of cases. Either triangle and square, well, actually, triangle and square have to be of the same type, meaning they're either both even or both odd. And that's because when you have 2 of the same type, again, regardless of even or odd, when you add them up together, that sum thus far is even. And if you want the sum total to remain even, of course, we get to add that even value in circle. So we're looking at either an all even solution or odd, odd, even. Okay, so those are our two possibilities. Let's see. And again, I go back to the fact that we do have criteria card C, letting us know how many evens there are. Could we have the same? Could we have 3 4s? Is that possible? Well, I don't think we could have 3 4s, because if we had 3 4s, we would know that the sum total would be even. I think making criteria card C irrelevant. But we could have, 2 4s, and obviously 1 4 is possible. We could have no 4s because maybe circle is 2 and triangle and square are odd. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and test criteria card E. Okay, so the Turing Machine does not approve of my choice in 314. Notice that 314 are all distinct, meaning that there's no pair, but because the Turing Machine does not approve of that, no pairs is not an option. There must be a pair. So let's go ahead and type that up in our notes in section E. And we'll say that the solution has a pair. And I apologize, there is a little bit of a lag time. Let's see. Well, let's kind of okay, there we go. Solution has, let's see. Yeah, it's still processing. Okay, so we are looking for a pair, and there we go. We are looking for a pair. Now, could it be a pair of evens? So the only way we can have a pair of evens is if that third digit is also even. Otherwise, we are going to have 2 odds, and that's what triangle and square will be. So let's see. Well, yeah, so basically we've already completed our 3 Turing tests for this round. We're now going into the phase where we'll be discussing how to construct a good second round proposal. So notice we did not test criteria card A, comparing that middle digit to the number 3. And we did not test criteria card C, discovering how many 4s there are in our solution. But otherwise, it looks like everything else we did in round 1 is definitive. So it kind of boils down to A and B, or sorry, A and C. So it could be that criteria card A, I'm leaning towards triangle and square being both odd, and then the circle digit will either be an even, or it is an even. It'll either be a 4 or a 2. So the question is, how can we figure that out? The only thing, well, let's see. The number of 4s. Yeah, the number of 4s is just 1. And, that would mean potentially that it could be 4 for circle. That leaves a lot of possibilities for triangle and square, right? So it almost feels like out of everything that triangle compares, because there's nothing about the number of evens, So it almost feels like the only possibility is that maybe square is 3, right? Because if it's less than, well, you could pick 1 or 2. If it's greater than 3, 4 or 5. Maybe with the exception of 4s. But everything else seems sort of up in the air. So the only thing that definitely picks something is square being 3. So I'm going to try out 3, 3, and 4. So let's go ahead and type that up and quickly, yeah, that last digit is even, the sum is even, and there is a pair. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead. I think the only one we can't really deduce is criteria card C, the number of 4s. It's either there, I believe, or not. So let's go ahead and pick it. So let's do C. Okay, so there is no, well, let's see, what can we say here? It doesn't like the fact that there's a single 4. That's the only thing we can conclude. That's interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and I guess the way I'm going to write it, let's see. Yeah, it doesn't like the fact that there's a single 4. Yeah, I'm just going to write there is, let's see. Yeah, I'll say the solution does not have a single 4. Okay, so that's the only thing we can conclude right now. I'll maybe amend it in a second. Let's go ahead and test A. Wow, okay, so this really changes my thought about the solution. Okay, so since it's not 3, let's go ahead and let's see, what can we say? Either square is either less than or greater than 3. Okay, so since square is not 3, let's go ahead and cross it out. And remember that we are looking for a pair. So square is not 3. I don't think triangle could be a 3. Again, we are looking for a pair. So yeah, let's go ahead and cross out the 3 in triangle. Well, this is not helpful at all. Well, in the sense that there's not a third choice I can actually test because everything is already pretty much definitive. So can I make any kind of deduction here? Well, again, the only other possibility is that I can see is that perhaps it's going to be 552, but we'd have to go to a third round to check that. So if there is only a single 2, if there are no 4s, that forces circle to be a 2. And we do need a pair. And so it would seem to be that it's either going to be a pair of 1s or a pair of 5s. And, well, let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking no 4s. And I think we're going to have to test A and C again. Potentially both. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and do 552. Wow. Okay. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And again, let's go ahead. Oh, I'm still technically in the second round. I have to tell it to go to the next step. There we go. Now it's prompting me for my proposal. And again, I said 552. And so let's go ahead and, well, let's again test criteria card C to see if there are no 4s. Okay, there we go. So let me update my notes for C to say that the Turing Machine agrees with the absence of 4. Let's see, the solution does not have how about, let me just change it to any 4s. I don't know, for some reason that doesn't sound right, but we'll say that. So let's go ahead then, cross out all the 4s. And what that means is that yes, circle must be a 2. And because there is a pair, that means triangle nor square can be 2s. So we can cross those out. And so, yeah, now it turns out to be, well, is square less than or greater than 3? So let's go ahead and test A again. And yeah, it does agree. So triangle is greater than 3. So let me update these notes here. Okay, and since square has to be greater than 3, it's not a 1. So it's a 5, and because it needs to be paired up, that means triangle isn't a 1. So yeah, it looks like our solution here is going to be 552. Okay, and so let's quickly review. Is that middle digit greater than 3? Yeah, it's a 5. Circle, the last digit is even, yes. And the solution has no 4s, does not have any 4s, so that even defaults to 2, makes sense. Okay, the sum of the 3 digits is even. Yeah, 10 and 2 is 12. And we have a pair. So it looks like it's a winner. So let's go verify nonetheless and see if 552 is correct. So 552. Okay, fantastic. Well, how did we do versus a Turing machine? Well, it is a 5 criteria card puzzle, but it took us 7 tests. So we did BDE in the first round, and we did the remaining 2 twice. And so let's go type it up. So BDE in the first round. So B and D were both correct. E was incorrect. And in the second round, both A and C were incorrect. And then finally in the third round, we got them to be correct. And so no, we did not do it this time. It did take us 3 rounds and 1 additional test. So I'm wondering where could we have done better? I'm not sure if, perhaps maybe testing A or C, maybe in an earlier round would not have hamstrung us, right? Because we weren't able to do a third test in the second round. So had we done one of those in the first round and, one of the ones that we did in the first round in the second, maybe that would have helped out. Not sure. Well, what about you? How did you solve it? Were you able to get it under 6? Please let us know how you accomplished that. What criteria cards did you choose? What was your original proposal? Because that's also very important. Add those thoughts to the comments. And if you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to hit subscribe to not miss out on any future videos. Well, until next time, have a great one.